women's edition of the GhanaWeb Mundial, our live coverage of the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. 5 African countries are competing for the ultimate trophy, with the host nation being kicked out. Will Ghana qualify from the group stages as we are preparing to, take on Uruguay in a revenge match Friday? I am Paula Amabruni. This is GhanaWeb Mundial. It's an all-women's edition. We're going to talk sports. So when we return from this quick break, we get started.
Are you still searching for the right platform to share your voice, thoughts, and feelings? Then the GhanaWeb Reporter on the GhanaWeb app is the perfect app for you. It is Ghana's only citizen journalism and infotainment platform. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, GhanaWeb Reporter links you up to the world. The Reporter also gives you the opportunity to blog or become a citizen journalist, so you share stories with the rest of the world about cities, music genres, pop culture, tech, politics, etc. Download the GhanaWeb app from the Google Play Store or App Store on your smartphone and open it. Tap on the member button at the bottom of your screen and follow the easy steps to register with your phone number or email, and you are ready to become a reporter.
GhanaWeb Reporter, democratizing journalism and empowering content creators.
Now, to sang quite dear one to Nambia, a man in quite baby.
Mommy, you first can see about Kotoso. No, Mammy, I cook on some. Pipoga, send me sick from Lemonade Finance and let me £10.
Lemonade Finance.
Say they're sending money back home from UK, Canada, and now US. I accepted a instant charges. Exchange waiting in so dear. Unbeatable. Resume promo code no Dr. Likey. Nenya £10, $10, and now $10 Canadian. What first transaction? What is send this car coffee no? Dial to Lemon and Finance.
And I've been joined by some women who talk sports. I'm going to do the quick introduction and then we get to business. Victoria Chebafo, she is a Tree News presenter here at GhanaWeb. Good to have you here.
Good to see you too.
How are you feeling?
Very well.
I know you've been supporting the Black Stars from afar. No, on match days, it's not easy. If you come to the newsroom, we are all rooting.
The pressure is just too much.
The pressure is getting worse. But then today we're going to assess their performance and everything that has got to do with the World Cup.
I'm with you.
Great, Vicky. And then next is Stella Jejom Sogli. She is a business reporter. She's with our business desk. Stella, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Later, I'm going to find out how you developed your love for sports, because I've heard you make some analysis. And I'm like, okay, this girl, she knows business.
If you are in the middle of 2 boys, my dad is a very big sports enthusiast. You have no choice than to learn the tactics, the skills, and every other thing. Plus, it's Ghana we are talking about, so.
Black Stars for life. Great. And I have here with me sports journalist Grace Ya Ajiman. She's with FG Digital Media. Grace, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Great.
And thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure, sweetheart. It's a pleasure, sweetheart. So I know some people think that women do not talk sport, but there are some who got the love for it. It's just not a game for the men. So today, Black Stars is going to be our focus. We're going to assess their performance in the World Cup so far. The 4 other African countries who are still competing, and then we'll see what happens. But then we have sports journalist Perez Kwao, who is live in Qatar. I just want to ask him some few questions. Tell us how the Black Stars, the fans, are preparing for, the crucial game on Friday. That's Ghana versus Uruguay. Remember that the Uruguay, they did us harm in 2010. Yes, when they eliminated us, shattered our dreams from going to the semi-finals. So Perez, if you can hear me. Okay, Ezra, we really missed you back here, you know. I see you, I see the reports you do, and it's super amazing. Can you tell us what's happening now on the grounds as Ghana prepares to take on Uruguay on Friday?
I mean, so the Black Stars, after the victory against South Korea yesterday, now the morale is high, the confidence is up the roof, the players are now confident. Even within the camp of the journalists this morning, I had a conversation with some of my colleague journalists before going to the National Museum of Qatar, and they are all confident that the game against South Korea will serve as a morale booster for the game against Uruguay. If we are going to play against Uruguay, we need no motivation. I mean, we have history against Uruguay. There is personal scores to be scored. There is a revenge mission that must be accomplished. And I think when you speak to both the players, Andrea, who was the only member of the current team who was part of the 2010 squad, agrees that there must be vengeance on Friday. And I think that's the mindset that most Ghanaians are going into that game with. But this morning, I mean, the National Museum of Qatar, how we are touring the place also to bring you some nice videos and some nice visuals as part of our coverage of the 2022 World Cup.
Okay, Perez, so you can tell us with that indeed it's not just any other business. Friday's match is a revenge game, and our boys are prepared because we just can't imagine Uruguay eliminating us for the second time. It's something I don't even want to even think about.
So let me tell you an interesting story this morning. When we were walking I was working with a colleague from Daily Graphic to the museum, and we saw some Cameroonians and some Nigerians. They were like, Ghana, and they asked us which team we were playing on Friday, and we were like, Uruguay. We were like, no, you can't lose. All of them were like, Ghana cannot lose against Uruguay. So that's the kind of mindset or the kind of emotion or the kind of mentality that almost every African that I've spoken with today, or since the draw was made, or since we arrived here, have that mindset that Ghana against Uruguay is a must win for Ghana. Now we can't afford to lose that game. It's a good motivation for the Blaster, but if it's not well managed, it can turn into some suicidal or something against that, because a lot of our players were not in the Blasters camp in 2010. Yes, they saw it on TV, they experienced the pains that we went through, but you know, it's a very delicate issue that the psychologists and the coaches within the Blasters have to manage, because if you don't get it well and the players become too obsessed with the fact that they're going for a revenge mission against Luis Suarez, they'll be in trouble. But if we manage to keep their mentality in check and say, okay, just take it as another game. Yes, there is an extra factor to motivate you, but take it as a normal game. Go in there, grab your 3 points. Even if you manage a draw and South Korea loses against Portugal, we are through. So it's good to go into the game with the idea to avenge the defeat we suffered 12 years ago. And I think the whole of Africa will be happy if we do that. But we need to manage our expectations, because the Koreans, the Uruguayans, the South American football tries from these kind of things. And already Luis Suarez has already spoken. I mean, the man we don't want to see has already spoken. So we will have to manage our expectations. We will have to manage whatever we have, because they have the arsenal to hurt us. They have the players, the likes of Darwin Inez, Luis Suarez, Edison Cavani. These are guys that on any day can hurt us. So yes, the mission is to avenge the defeat, but we need to keep our emotions in check. For me, on the day, how disciplined, how committed the Blasters team are, will decide, because I'm sure the Uruguayans will like to get another game. I won't be surprised if Luis Suarez does any of those his dirty tricks in that game. But once the players get their emotions in check, once they stay disciplined to the tactics and whatever they will be taught at training, I'm sure we'll come up with the maximum points and win the game.
Okay, so you've talked about the team's discipline, confidence, performance, and everything. But you are in Qatar. You've seen 2 live matches. First with Portugal, second with South Korea. What would be your take-home? Are the boys doing things right? Some people were not so impressed with our first game. Even though Portugal managed to beat us, it was a bit consoling because they feel like, okay, they delivered. And in their second match with South Korea, they really went head-to-head with them, securing all 3 points. What has been your take-home? We here, of course, we are watching from our TVs and sometimes you get excited and all that, but you seeing it live from the field, how has been the excitement, the feeling and everything that has got to do with it?
You know, the thing is that watching football from TV, it's honestly totally different from watching it live. Now, there are certain things that you don't see on screen that once you're on the page. You see, and like for instance, in the game against South Korea, for instance, in the first minute, Jordan Ayew was basically our coach on the field. And that's something that most Ghanaians will not see. Jordan Ayew was the ear of the coach. So whatever Coach Otuado wanted to speak to the team, he had to go to Jordan Ayew, and Jordan will relay the information to his other colleagues. The thing about what I've seen with the Blasters so far is that, one, we are a fledgling team. We are a team in a process. That's why some of us feel that the 2022 World Cup came too soon for this team, because you feel like whenever it was there, you feel like there's a team that if we had a month or 2 or 3 months maximum of preparation, I'm sure we would have at least made a semi-final. I have no doubt about that. But this is a team that is getting together. We are now putting together a piece. So you see Coach Otoado almost every day trying new things, trying some things. But my biggest takeaway from has been the unity and the oneness in camp. When in the game against South Korea, for instance, Mohamed Kudus scored the goal. Almost all the players ran to him. When the Koreans got back and it was 2-2, all the players from the bench got back on their feet and they were clapping for their colleagues on the bench. And this is something that we hardly see when it comes to this thing. So the unity for me has been, and luckily for us, we have our big players stepping up. Mohamed Kudus has stepped up. Jordan Ayew, when the need be, has stepped up. We need Thomas Partey. He did great against South Korea, but we need to step up. My biggest worry, which for me is one thing that the Koreans will be exploiting. It's our inabilities, the Uruguayans will be exploiting. It's our inability to deal with area balls, the long balls, the balls that floated into the air. We are struggling to deal with it. I don't think that's a player's issue. I think it's more of a coach's issue. Because when you look at our defenders individually, they are great. Amati, Salis, they are great players. They have the structure to deal with crosses and stuff. But when it comes to the black side, they are not able to. And I think that's where we need to work on. I don't know what's going on in the team's camp, but I'm sure by now they should be working on how we deal with set pieces and how we deal with crosses. Because in our games against South Korea, we consider from set pieces, we consider from crosses. And the Koreans, usually, if you watch them before the tournament, they are not known to be crossing balls. But once they scored that first goal, they started floating in the ball because they know that we have a problem with dealing with long balls. And I think that's one of the things that I don't know what's going on in the camp, what's going on in training, but Coach Otoado and his charges need to strengthen, because unlike the Koreans, who in terms of structure, in terms of physique, are way shorter than us, the Uruguayans are very tall. Edson Cavani is one of the best ball headers in the world. Luis Suarez can sneak in and head about him. Down in there, you don't want to give him any space to head those balls. So that's one of the things that we need to address. Again, another thing that's worrying for me is that we are a Ghanaian team that's set up to defend. If you watch all our games, we see possession, we defend and try to hit on the break. But for a defensive side to concede 5 goals in 2 matches, that's a big, big worry. I don't know what Coach Otoado will have to address that issue, because we are going against one of the potent strikers in the world currently. Down in there, this summer who cost Liverpool $100 million. So we can't take chances against. We need to solve the issues in our defense. I think once we get that done, we are good to go. Because offensively, we've shown that we can score. What we've not shown so far is our ability to defend. I think that's one of the things that we have to show in the game against Uruguay on Friday.
Okay, Perez, so I've got my ears on the ground. Like what the sport says here in Ghana are saying that anytime Ghana is in a comfortable lead, let me borrow that word, or when we feel like, okay, we've scored good, then we get a little bit relaxed. Then before we know it, the other side would have, entered our net with maybe 1 or 2 goals. What would you say should, going forward to our match against Uruguay on Friday, what are some of the things that you don't want to see? Then later you can add your star players so far.
Again, this is something that you should expect of a team that's playing its first World Cup. You look at the Black Star team, only I think 2 or 3 players have played in the World Cup. So mentally, they are not built for this kind of atmosphere. They are not. So once they go a goal down, they tend to capitulate. And that's what has happened in our last 2 games. What Coach Otoado, and I think we have a team psychologist, need to do is that to psych the players up and let them understand that they have the strength, they have the competence, they have the technical quality to deal with whatever they are going to, whatever position they are going to face. And that's one of the things that we need to work on, because I think mentally, once that South Korea goal went in, some of our players had their heads down, and the Koreans pounced on that opportunity and scored the second goal. So what our players need to do is that don't let your guards down. We lost concentration in that moment because we felt we were 2 goals ahead and we were home and drive. We were in a comfortable, to borrow the words of Kukwanye Doho, and we allowed the Koreans to get back into the game. There were some moments of lapses in concentration. I think that's what was that. What we need to do is 100% concentration against Luis Suarez, against Edson Cavani, against those guys. You can't give them the chance. If you give Valverde the chance, 50-meter yard shots into your post. And honestly, as much as I think he did great against South Korea, we can't trust him because he's our 3rd choice goalkeeper. So you can't bank all your hopes on him. So what our players need to do is that 100% concentration, stay committed, and stay disciplined to whatever you are taught at training. I'm sure if they do that, we'll be able to sail through. For my star players, maybe one player that has stood up for me, and most Ghanaians are not mentioning, is Salis Mohammed. Salis, for me has done good so far, because at the heart of midfield, he has been able to do the mop-up wall. He has been able to join the attack. Whenever he had against South Korea, I feel he had a few opportunities where he could have shot, he could have struck the ball well, but he chose to go for the pass. But that, of course, was not his job. His job is to sit deep, sit in front of the back for mop-up, clean the place, and allow Thomas Partey to flourish. Partey has not been the Partey we see at Arsenal, mainly because I feel there is a lack of movement in this Black Stars team. Our forwards are not moving enough, and once we address that, we'll be able. But Saleh has been great. Kudus, of course, is the star boy of the team. He's scoring. I mean, he scored 2 goals. The first Ghanaian to score 2 goals in the World Cup, so you have to give him some credit. But my best player so far have been our centre backs pair, because in as much as we've had our backs against the wall in most cases, they've done well, even though we consider 5 goals. Okay,
Perez, so before I let you go, can you summarize your experience in Qatar? Have you received any cultural shocks?
Cultural? No, I mean, the Qatarians are, honestly, we've met some very nice people, contrary to the stereotypical views which have been, propagandized by the European media. Honestly, the Qatarians are very nice people. We've been to places, we've encountered them. On Wednesday, we went to the Ghanaian community, myself and Mr. Daniel Odoro, who is the managing editor of Ghana. We went to the Ghanaian community, and they spoke highly of them. Again, there were talks that you cannot wear shorts, you cannot do that. I mean, I've seen women wearing things that you never thought you would see wear in here. And I think because of the World Cup, they've relaxed the rules. I mean, there are fan parks everywhere. So they've not really. What has stood out for me is the discipline here. It's very, very disciplined. I mean, you don't see people selling in traffic. You don't see people praying about, selling.
That one.
Sometimes I look at some of the things and I tend to kind of agree with the journalists that Charlie, we are behind, way behind.
Glass and Kwan.
I'm just amazed by the infrastructure development and the discipline. Because Charlie, if you want to develop a country, you need a disciplined society, and I think that's what has been the bedrock of the development of Qatar.
Okay. Thank you very much, Perez. Thank you very much. And now, regards to Daniel Odoro, we wish the boys the very best in our upcoming match on Friday.
All right. Thank you very much. Fuck.
So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, GhanaWeb Mundial continues.
Susu sang kwai bia wan to na bia e man kwai bebre.
Mommy, you face can see about Kotoso. No, mommy, I could consam. People got send me sick from Lemonade Finance and let me £10.
Lemonade Finance.
Say they're sending money back home from UK, Canada, and now US. I accepted a instant charges. Exchange rate in Sudia. Unbeatable. Resume promo code no Dr. Likey. Nenya £10, $10, and now $10 Canadian. What first transaction? What is send this card of dial to Lemon and Finance.
The World Cup promises to be exciting, and there's no better place to catch the thrills and fun than Ghana's leading online platform, GhanaWeb.
From training ground reports, camp news, pre- and post-match analysis, and other human interest stories from the Mondial, GhanaWeb got you covered with expert views from journalists, current and retired footballers, and of course, our cherished readers and viewers.
Catch all the action on GhanaWeb and GhanaWeb TV.
Welcome back. You're still watching GhanaWeb Mundial here on GhanaWeb TV. I am Paula Amabroni. And yeah, I'm sitting in for your regular host, Joel Action. You've seen him all the while. But today, as I stated earlier, is a women's edition. We have women who talk sports, women who love the Black Stars, women who follow football, and women who have interest in the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. So as I earlier introduced my guest to you, I have here with me Victoria, Stella, and Grace. Women who've got love for the game, yeah. It's just not a man's world. We also love it. They say bring back the love, but we already have the love. We're supporting the Black Stars. Ladies, we've seen the Black Stars play 2 games so far in the FIFA World Cup. I'm going to start with Victoria. How would you rate their assessment? Performance so far?
So far, so good. I'm very proud of the Black Stars because we were not expecting this, but for us to go this far, I feel they have really done well. You know, we started the AFCON this year, and you saw a whole lot of things that happened. I mean, a country like Comoros came in and scored Ghana.
Charlie, that was
like, who does that? But and because of that, a lot of people lost hope in the Black Stars. But by the grace of God, if you are on our feet, and then I mean we are scoring goals and we are doing that, I feel it's a good thing. And then we award them the marks.
Okay, great. So, Stella, inside when we were going into the FIFA World Cup, you know, they tipped some countries as, you know, the big clubs who are, you know, going to progress in the stage. Ghana was not, there was not so much interest. Even the pandemic did not even predict any good for us. Yeah. But now seeing our performance, in fact, we lost our first game, but then it was much more consoling. Second game with South Korea, we beat them, and going forward to Friday's game. Are you impressed so far, or you think there's more to be done? And can we even win the FIFA World Cup?
Well, winning the FIFA World Cup is a bit extreme. So before now, I used to personally believe that, like things worked in a certain manner, but growing up, I've realized that everything that you do, you must be intentional about it. You must have the preparation for it. You must be disciplined. Football is a game on the pitch. I mean, when any country at all is going to play, their country is praying for them. I mean, so people will ask, hey, you're praying that God should make you win. How about your opponents? I mean, so it's all favor comes into play. I believe strongly in God and everything that He can do for us and all that. But I think that with discipline, with the technical know-how, you played 2 matches so far. If you identify your loopholes, your mistakes, and you decide to work on them, they can help you to progress in the upcoming games. So I'm very confident. So far they've been good, but just like Perez was telling us earlier, this is a new team. They are still getting to know each other, and you can see it from the style of play. Some of the players are not able to integrate properly.
Yeah, sometimes they act very selfishly when they get the ball.
And it may not be them acting selfish, it's just their style. You know, they all play in different teams, and now they are going to come together and play this team. At first, we used to have the Stephen Appiah team, Asamoah. When we say Black Stars, you know that this is the squad.
These are new faces.
Yes, but these are entirely different people who are actually having their first time, like Inaki Williams. This is his first time playing with the Black Stars. So you may expect some of those lapses, the loopholes, and all of that. But overall, I can rate them. I can give them like a 7.5, except for a few mistakes that have been done. So I'm very, very impressed, and I'm confident that if we do our homework properly, we can progress.
Yeah, you made mention of prayers. Ahead of the FIFA World Cup, we declared a National Day of Fast. I did really partake in it. And then there's been so much cause for bringing back the love. You know, sometimes when I openly declare that, you know, I support the Black Stars. I'm one of their #1 fans. On social media, you have some people comment under your post. You still believe in the Black Stars. You get broken heart too. You should take your time. They're not going to perform, but I must say they've proven everybody wrong, and they are still doing their best. Friday's game is a do or die affair. But then, Gracie, you have also been following the match. Our first game with Portugal, our second with South Korea. Let's just do a breakdown for Portugal's game. In the first half, in the second half, just give us your fair idea. Like how did you rate the boys?
Okay, so thank you very much. First, I would like to commend the boys for a very good job done. And in the first half of our very first game, I realized that the Black Stars were not giving room for Portugal at all. No more Magabakra. But then I also noted that they didn't attempt attempt a single shot. And I was like, what's going on?
It was all defense.
You know, and then I was like, okay, well, it's just 45 minutes into the game, so let me just relax and see what the boys have for us. And then before we realized, like he said, they were just defending, and then the corner was also giving. They were just defending, they were giving the, they were just defending, and then I felt it was a tactics, yes. I felt it was
I think it was just a game plan by our coach Otuado. But then, but Gracie, I want us to just take an insight from Qatar, how Black Stars fan supporters were, you know, happy on the ground ahead of the match. So we're just going to take a quick one. When we come back, the conversation continues.
Overall, everyone did his job, and today we're growing into the tournament, and today we showed it, and we're really, really happy.
Do you think the senior players have shown why they deserve to be in the team? You and your brother are the only two players who have tasted the World Cup before. Do you think today you showed why experience is important?
You know, in every job, in everything you do in this world, in every job, in everything you do in this world, experience is key, and obviously. We have great young talents and great players as well, so we know what we have to do. And I think today, the two games, we showed them why we were important to the team, and we'll keep on pushing and keep on speaking to the young ones to come along with us and to buy into our ideas and the coach idea as well. And we're here to let them feel comfortable and let them perform as well.
The game against Uruguay on Friday, what should Ghanaians expect from it?
I mean, it is a game, like a must-win game, just like today. So we have to win this game to progress. I think we're just going to give it our all and win this game to progress.
We want to thank them a lot. They came in their numbers. They were great. We want to thank them for the support, for the love, for the prayers, and inshallah. On Friday, we don't know what's going to happen, but I hope that on Friday we will be through to the next stage.
Capito, you've been here before at the tournament before. A lot of the young players have not been here. What was the message before this game after losing the first game?
Like I said, from what we've seen, what we showed versus Portugal, I think I said it after the game. I was very, very calm and very confident of what was coming. Cannot say that I knew we were going to win, but look at what Korea is. Tough team, you know. Can't say that, but I knew that we were going to put up a very good show, and that's what we did. Technically, we did it for a period. After we showed it physically, after it was determination, we had a bit of everything in this game. We showed unity. We could defend. I'm so proud of the squad. So proud of the squad, and I hope that we can keep this and even do better on Friday, which is going to be extremely difficult.
But I mean, would you be worried about the rate of the concession, the goals that you concede in the games?
If we concede and we win at the end, I'm okay. So yeah, that's the main thing. But yeah, we'll try and concede less. We did. Technically, we did it for a period. After we showed it physically, after it was determination, we had a bit of everything in this game. We showed unity. We could defend. I'm so proud of the squad. So proud of the squad, and I hope that we can keep this and even do better on Friday, which is going to be extremely difficult.
But I mean, would you be worried about the rate of the concession, the goals that you concede in the games?
If we concede and we win at the end, I'm okay. So yeah, that's the main thing. But yeah, we'll try and concede less, and we'll work as a team. It's not only defenders or goalkeeper or whatever. It's as a unit. We have to try and concede less, because I always believe that with the squad that we have, we're always able to get some goals. So we'll try and defend better as a unit and try and put in even more goals if we can.
What do you make of your brother's performance? He was criticized sometimes, but today, what do you make of his performance? He's trending on social media for a good display.
It's not the first time. I'm not going to give him. It's not the first time. I think he's just someone that people just want to speak bad about, that's all. But they, in their heart, they know the kind of quality he is. You can't play in the Premier League for 6 years and I don't need to speak.
Great. So you heard from our players, Jordan, and our captain, Dede Ayew. They rated their performance in their very last game. And so, ladies, before we took that one, I was talking to Gracie. Gracie, the second game with South Korea, some people think that South Korea was not a better side. That's why Ghana beat them. But I must say that I saw the performance. It was on point. So far, what has been your assessment of that game?
South Korea. Okay, I will start by commending Dede Ayew. He did brilliant. He did very, very, very well. And South Korea, they had some kind of speed that Black Stars didn't have. And they were very swift with the game. And I was like, hey, how are we going to score? Because it was a very, very tough one. And I noticed also that we were losing the ball most of the times. And that was when we were getting the corner and all that. But then I was like, why didn't we prepare enough for this game? But then that was like 20 minutes into the game. So as usual, we just have to relax and see what will be done. But if I am to compare both matches, I would say the second match, that's our match with Korea, is one of the best but tough ones. Because, it was very tough. And looking at the match with Portugal, you realize that the first 45 minutes, we had 0 touches and in the opposition box. And it was,
when I was watching that game, the first, I was like, hey, I don't know what they told them in the dressing room. When they came back in the second half, it was like, this is what we wanted to see. If you had applied that same energy in the first half, I'm not sure Portugal could have beaten that game, honestly. But then, Stella, South Korea, we won that game. But that 10 minutes of added time. You should have seen GhanaWeb newsroom. We were just saying, referee, just whistle and let's bring the game to an end. It was so long. I was just sitting at the end. And then when we got to the very last part, we were doing the countdown. Like, hey, referee, won't you just whistle for us to bring the end of the game? How were you feeling? How did you feel? Were you scared at a point that maybe South Korea was going to, beat Ghana?
Okay, so Ghana's team has proven to be a very defensive one. Just like Perez was saying earlier on, if we are able to do the defensive very well, they may not be able to score us. And I think at their last, in that 10 minutes, that additional 10 minutes, Ghana did not get possession of the ball for even 30 seconds. All of it,
they were playing us,
was at the Korean side. And just like Grace said earlier on, the Korean side is a very swift one, so we didn't have the energy. Their swiftness and ours were not at par, so they were really playing us. But I think we also did very well because we were able to defend, and the long balls that usually we should be doing more often, we were doing it in that 10 minutes. Whenever the ball came, it was cleared. Whenever it came, it was cleared. Nobody had time to try to do anything so that it will be on your head that you were the cause of any goal or any misfortune happening at that time. But for a patriotic citizen like ourselves, that 10 minutes was the longest ever because they were just mounting pressure on us. And I think that learning from that particular time, Ghana, if we are able to make those changes properly and fill up all those loopholes, we can be able to withstand, because the Uruguayan team that we are going to face does not look like an easy one. And they are tall, they are physical, they are strong.
They've got some of the best players.
Exactly. Too. And look at Tariq Lamptey, for example. He's very short, he's cute. I mean,
Tariq has won the heart of several ladies in Ghana.
Exactly, because
he's young, he's nice, and he's an excellent player too.
He's doing very well. But looking at someone like that, it would take more than just physique to be able to tackle a side which is stronger, physically. So if we're able to do our defending properly, I think that in the game against you, like we are already confident, but I mean the play with the
it's a duo of die affair. I know Ghana wants a revenge, and then you know I heard Shawel say that okay, they're also coming much stronger against us on Friday. But then Victoria, at the end of last match with Korea, Kudus was awarded the man of the match, and I'll say that I am impressed with our goalkeeper Atiziki. He's my darling boy at the moment. That guy, there has been several. If we didn't have a good goalkeeper like Atiziki,
would have drunk like 6.
Sister,
he was doing so
Atiziki
well.
is so good.
So well.
Pressures from Portugal, from South Korea, all he's been able to make very good saves. But you, do you say that the match was Kudus deserving of the man of the match?
Right, with me, with my technical football eyes.
Okay, tell me.
I feel Kudus didn't really deserve that award. I mean, if we compare Atizigi and Jojo Wallacott, I mean, what are you talking about? If it was Jojo Wallacott in that goal post, man, by now Ghana would be out. In fact,
sure?
So you don't have you can't.
I mean, football is a game that you
cannot. She has witnessed the performance so far.
We have witnessed.
I think I disagree because Atizigi also cost us some few lapses because I feel one, he's quite nervous, and some of the things like he's a bit jittery, so
he put the nervous because a lot of Ghanaians were expecting the best from him.
No, he's our third choice goalkeeper.
First time actually.
I mean, he's third choice. Like
you know, I actually learned that there were other keepers who would have gone for the World Cup instead of Ziggy, but they were hurt.
Exactly.
So they couldn't go. So I think Atizigi brought out his very best.
But I called to play for the to keep our post for the national team whilst you were not like maybe even in line. I would say Vic was comparing his performance with Jojo Wallacott.
So and Wallacott was us in the AFCON.
My problem calculations for us to get to World Cup. Do you know that?
Yes, it did. All right. And who was in our post at the time? It was Jojo Wallacott. I mean, making that comparison at this point may not be fair to both of them. I think that it would be very unfair to Ziggy to say that if it was Wallacott, he would have done better because we've not seen Wallacott. Jojo is.
Let's not forget that as Ghanaians, we don't live in past glory. See what we do to Jordan. When Otuado decided to start Jordan in the first half,
we were all like, hey,
we have lost this match. Why Jordan's excellent performance. At the end of the day, people are like, oh, we owe Jordan an apology. I'm like, no, this is football. When you do well, when you have an excellent day, we will be praised, we will commend you. But then, if you don't play with your heart, we have every right to judge.
Little I saw with the Koreans, I feel Jordan has that perception that as for this one, I am going to surprise Ghanaians, and this one
you should surprise us on Friday.
I actually felt that Jordan was made to start the game so that along the line he would be replaced. But then later on, I was like, oh, the man is actually showing us that he has the blood flowing in him. He was doing so well, and all thanks to him, we were able to score our very first 2 goals.
And at the point, Ghanaians were not happy for the fact that he was even removed from the game.
And back to Atizigi, I feel like the guy is doing so well, and he throws himself to the direction where the opponent plays the ball to, and you realize that he's pointing at the right time, he's throwing himself to the left or to the right at the right time, and the boy is just good. I don't
want to cut you, but with the penalty Ronaldo scored, if it was not Ronaldo, I'm sure he could have caught down.
Exactly. And I was broken-hearted because a goat like Ronaldo doesn't need a penalty to, score a goal. I was like, oh, Ronaldo, you could have done better. What's all this? But, well, the referee is a racist. He's a racist because the VAR is there to check on all these things. So why don't you
this
go
is
and
the goat
check
we are
and
talking
then,
about?
you know,
and this is Ronaldo.
You know,
okay, you cannot.
Ladies,
say that.
I like your comparison because some people think that we just watched football just for the laugh of it. Oh, they score, we just scream and we jubilate. But then we also have an eye for details. As we said, we listed some of the things that the Black Stars should do if indeed they want to win the Friday's match against Uruguay. But then we'll take one from sports debates, yes. So we have a special one for you. So just let's watch that, and when we come back, we continue with our discussion.
Today on this episode of the GhanaWeb Sports Debate, we are asking that your favorite team, either Kotoko, Haas, Manchester United, Madrid, Barcelona, is playing a UEFA Champions League or CAF Champions League final at the same time that your girlfriend wants to come over. Will you forget about your girlfriend and go and watch the game, or you stay with your girlfriend and then miss the game? Memokwa about GhanaWeb TV. So any kind of team men are supporting
Madrid.
Who supporting Madrid?
Yes.
Magic Champions League, 13 times. 14. 14. Sorry. And you see, I know about one in the world, and I say we target. Just a one mini girl we are check. Na China, you find say China a Champions League final. Madrid, any Barcelona and Elbow. A classico bin sida na satam na ye bebo ball na girl no e ba o ha ubeja girl no ho wakwa akosho ball na say ubeto adwum say ball no kwa onkohwe na o ne girl na she ho
na me wakwa ball no
ubeja girl no ho
ubeja girl no wakwa ball no
na okona on sanka ni bi we
don't forget it
ish
serious
iti o do Madrid che oba na o
yes
Champions League final ka Basu Echina El Clasico Madrid any Barca na ebo ulong oba chese wapena che anasa we girl na the same time I ebo ball no na girl no e ba o ha then na obe ja girl no ha na say obeto wadwim say o amanfo ball mo bo aje o musika no ma me ne girl no nche
na na target na me miss kra
miss
because e bia na ma too eager so but match in there say India menya sports eti
sports eti
menya highlight bi so na enti no I'll forgo the match.
But here bim ka say wo share ball no life no any highlights no ya na emotions no enyepe.
Yes, high, but I don't need to see what actually happened to get it. So far as ABI you're winning and I say you lose here, and I mean true highlight, sports highlights. Many information in the internet was we know a long time target. Let me
add one more gentleman. About to Memokwa about Edinburgh GhanaWeb Sports Debate. So team men and our supporting.
Resume the team league community be there, but I'm fine say me support Ray.
Oh support Ray. Eba Ghana so support wine. Kotoko kuma member. Na say Kotoko aje Ghana Premier League na fine say Echina a CAF Champions League final Kotoko any alley ball Accra Sports Stadium we win your ticket say we go share game ni bi. Sa time na so no ba bi a chese we the gay chisa wunya no ehwan na girl na test so say oh me ba time na o FIFA akosho ball na nigga na tezo za o ba ube ja ticket na we ja ball na wona girl na shawa na say ube twa na ball
say me twa ticket no cry and me le cry na me twa kuno ya that again no because obabu on ma mission e be fa no wa ble I say by mission be fa na we say bonti no obi obekọ ebi obeba gbem kwa na bi a be teki yes
question and where the power but me so me football pana me Manchester City as some fancy we ever had you got about me jam match no ma coach again because me since I'm chasing at Chengwandia and then me need akoboso
until over dog
Man City cry match me replay after
no say your supporting has also support why
I think I have to go for Real Madrid.
Real Madrid I beg Ghana
I'm say Kotoko na
Kotoko
yo oh yeah I think I need to forget about the match and then go for my girlfriend because you know I've been looking searching for a number of years or couple of months or couple of days I've not get access to it so once I have the chance of getting access to it but that was the moment I need to forget the match and then go for the lady.
Okay so once the lady is available you will not go and watch the match.
No I need to forget the match and then go for the lady. I suffered a lot.
To me, they make go share ball because about the more hobby breed. So we to give me a treatment me a compare for Russia and I. The ball no dey me per ball no me per me team house so.
So today on this episode of the GhanaWeb Sports Debate, we are asking that your favorite team, either Kotoko, has.
Okay, so you just watched a previous report by sports journalist Joel Eshen, who was interacting with some Ghanaian men when it comes to making choice. They are women and football. I know some men, no matter what you do, it's football all the way. They're even going to mind you. But then some women too have argued that, wait, you claim you love me, I'm that special. Why would you choose football over me? But I would say that if you can't beat them, you join them. Do you know, if you know your man is a football lover who's always got love for the game, you know, it's just a 90 minutes game plus at a time. You can spend time and watch the match. And after it's done, you can, you know, kickstart whatever you wanted to do. But ladies, you heard what the men said. Some say when it comes to their women, they're just going to forget the match because there's going to be highlights and other replays. So they can watch it anytime. But when it comes to their women, we have to dedicate time to you. Have you ever found yourself in that situation? Because there's been time where maybe I needed my man, but then maybe he was out watching football with the men. How has that experience been so far? Don't tell me you have not experienced that. Let's share your story. Okay,
it is possible that I haven't experienced that before. But then, if it should happen, myself, I'm into football. Right, so when it happens, you just join. If you can't beat them,
you join them. So you don't have a problem with your man saying, okay, Vicky, just give me 90 minutes. I want to finish watching this game. When I'm done,
I'll just
you just allow. Yes. Stella, you look off.
Well,
okay.
I mean, like, sometimes we should not even be making certain comparisons. Why are you comparing football to women? Like, these are very important things to, like, different people. I mean, some men don't care about football. They don't care about football, but there's something else that he may care about and may not care about you. I mean, but this is not Monza and Kados, so let's just keep it at football and women. But I don't think it's even something we should make a comparison about. Like, if you are in a committed relationship with someone and this is what they like, I mean, it's not good or healthy to be imposing yourself on them at that point. You know that this is time for football, just let it go. And if you are really interested, for me, I'm really interested in the things that my partner does. And so if he loves football, and I know maybe his favorite team is Liverpool, and I know all the Liverpool fixtures, I know when they are going to play their game. So if they have a match on a particular day and at a particular time, I'm not going to bother him at that time. I will even join him to watch the game. And sometimes it's nice to do that. Sometimes you're supporting an opposing team, is supporting a different team. You fight when you're watching the match. When you're done, you go back and love your shit. There's nothing but the men were lying. All men do is lie. I mean,
they beg. Fear men.
That's my personal mantra. But yeah, all men do is lie. So the men who were saying they'll leave the match and go and stay with their girlfriend, they are lying.
Great. Gracie, on the foreign front, which foreign team do you support? The club level.
If I say fake, I'm dead, but well, Chelsea.
So you are a Chelsea fan. Great, the Blues. Is your partner, or if there is he also a Chelsea fan?
No.
So how do you balance that?
Well, my partner, or no, my ex-partner. Okay. He wasn't like a football type.
Okay.
So there was nothing football like, but then based on experiences friends have and things I read on the internet, if you choose football over me, fine, say football now, be the other.
Are you really sure about that?
Okay. But however, if your partner is interested in football, I think just 90 minutes wouldn't spoil anything. So if you also love football, and I think it's all about communication. If the man just ignores you to go and watch football, and when he comes, you have trouble.
You have a case.
You know, but it's communication. Oh, and there will match. So let me go and watch the match. When I come back, we can have some time together. If you are equally interested, wherever he's going to watch the match, you can follow him as well.
Great.
But if he's going with boys, and you feel like you don't want to go, I say you are going to spoil the fun, you can watch it at home. When he comes, you can tease each other, and
it's going to be very, very nice. So I'm yet to experience one, and I would love to, especially when we are in the opposing teams. It would be very, very nice.
I think the problem comes when it's like the person is too obsessed with football and neglects you. You know, you can strike a very good balance between what football and still having your way.
And I also feel it's just a matter of understanding. When you both understand yourself.
Some boys just.
Stella, who hurts you?
Who made you this way? I mean, all men do is lie.
You know,
but there are some people who want to use it as an excuse to just misbehave. They don't have time for you. They'll tell you they are going to watch football. That one is a red flag. If you are thinking about football more than you think about me.
But you know, some would actually, maybe you text them and they'll leave you on blue tick.
Yes,
that's very painful. They won't even open the message.
Why are you texting? I said football needs concentration. For me, I've been doing that. I've been following the Black Stars match, this World Cup. When I put
but
my
they
phone
can
aside.
Be tweeting when they are watching.
Exactly.
But they can't reply.
I mean,
you see, like she's saying, all men do is to lie. Because I didn't see it.
But then you had time to
tweet. Because whenever we are watching the football match, who is making the Black Stars trend?
It's we now. We are watching, but we are tweeting. Even when you are celebrating, you are taking a video.
So you can't just reply and say,
I get what you're saying. But personally, I've had women, those who are okay with their men watching football.
Yeah.
But when in the case where the men have to come to your house to watch, some of the concerns they've raised is that when you come and you are leaving, clean after you, because you know you can have a lot of boys in your home watching football. It's fun, you want to join, you don't have any problem with it, but then when they are gone, you have to clean up, sweep. Maybe if it was popcorn situation or food, they just leave everything scattered. The women say they don't like that, so please take notice. So I'm just going to the next part.
Well, can I say something about that? But you decided to host them, so cleaning after them
if you have a
no
man,
problem.
See, it's a strategy. Some people don't want them to go out to watch the game, so you bring it to the house.
So yeah, bring it to the house. We watch.
So you are ready for it. So you
are ready to do
this. Let's not give chances. Let's not. You have to clean after you. That's it. But ladies, I just want to find out how you developed your love for football, because I know that all of you've been really following the FIFA World Cup. In my case, I'm just going to start with myself. So with me, my dad was a very mad, crazy Kotoko fan. So as a young girl, even in our house, you hang the flag there on our doorpost. So that was it, you know, I developed the love for it. You used to go to the to go watch matches and stuff like that. And then later on in my life, when I matured, I kind of dated men who also love football. So in my case, when I'm with you, maybe you support Chelsea, I'm a Chelsea fan. When we break up, I'm done with you. I'm going to So that has been my thing. Those who know me know me. So back then I was Chelsea because of Michael Essien. Way back in senior high school, I was supporting Chelsea. Then I guess he moved to Barca, Manchester United, Arsenal, and Chelsea. I just want to find out with you, Vic, how did you develop the love for the game?
So I think with me, maybe I was born with football, because whilst in school, I'm like, wow. So when you are going to play football, I'm there. I remember I was the only person who scored a goal for my school. And that was it. The girl was hated wherever I went. And so since then, I've loved football all my life. Anytime, anywhere. If I don't like you, I don't like you. If I love this team, I'm with this team.
So who's your favorite Black Stars player?
For now, I think I'll go with Tariq Lamptey.
Tariq Lamptey.
Yes.
Hey, be like that. With you, how did you develop your love for the game?
Well, I think football is a beautiful game. And growing up, I have two big brothers and my dad. So I remember when I was very young, we were not staying in Accra, and we're in our hometown. And then
hometown where, please?
You cannot give my guest pressure.
I know people are watching and they are ready to mention their name, so please let me just keep it here. So I remember one time there was going to be a hard protocol game. So my dad came all the way, came for my brothers to come to Accra to come and watch the game. My dad was a Kotoko fan. My brothers were hard supporters. So like it was just nice having the whole banter, even at that very young age. And then we came here. It was World Cup 2006. Ghana was on fire. We were all happy. And the fact that like I get to watch the game myself, I knew a lot of players off head. After that, my brother supports Liverpool, the other one supports Arsenal or something. My dad supports Chelsea. So you can just imagine, like there's never been agreement when it comes to football at home. Like this one is doing this. When Chelsea loses, my dad will not eat. And when he comes home, he's angry. My brothers to know that he's angry, so they will tease him. I mean, it was all fun and beautiful. Football was a very beautiful way for us to bond. Michael Essien was at Chelsea. I know quite a lot of Liverpool players on my fingertips. Manchester United. I mean, it was beautiful. And growing up and watching the game myself, I'm like, okay, this is good. Yes, when you follow it. I mean, even in Ghana right now, you can attest to the fact that football is the only thing that brings everybody
because
together.
On that day, the budget should be reading. If it wasn't for football, I know we would have been
because
football. When it comes to football, Ghanaians
we don't joke with it. So I think football is a very beautiful sport. All right. Other sports as well. I remember when we were on the University of Ghana campus during Gusa games, and then the UG boys, they won all their basketball matches. Hey, you should see me. My God, all over the fell in love with basketball again, but basketball is not really a thing in Ghana. And even if you are supporting basketball, they feel like it's just for the fun of it, or like it's fake love or something. Because basketball is not
just
really
feeling
huge.
one of the players.
Yes,
I love basketball.
Great, thank you very much, Stella. So Gracie, I know you talk sports. There's just not a lot of people who really are into the game. I can, count the number of sports journalists and all that. In your case, how did you develop a love for the game?
Well, growing up, I didn't come from a sporty home. Okay. It was just my mom. You will see her in the midst of men and she'll be watching football. But I'll just be escorting her to watch football. But then growing up, I realized that football is a beautiful game. So once in a while, I would watch. Just that I felt like the people I met along the line didn't really help my interest in football. So it even got to a point I stopped watching football. And then I think level 200 in GIJ or so, Joel brought up the interest again, and then we started something small on campus. Shout out to Joel. Yeah. Joel is sharing the ladies' man. And then that is how I began to build it, and I'm here now. So football is indeed a very beautiful game, and I would encourage everyone, if you don't love football, just partake in it and you feel alive.
Okay, now let's discuss favorite Ghanaian World Cup tunes. I'm still in love with 2014 Grace Ashi. Ghana Blasters, I say, yeah, we're gonna fire. Some people still argue that till date we've had a lot of World Cup team songs, but then it cannot match up to Grace Ashi's level. Stella, what has been your favorite? Now, currently, so in 2022, we have one from Makwabwa, we have Samini, Kim Promise, we have Kweku Flick and Small God, and we have Nassim, Mr. Pab. There are other ones. So, what has been your favorite? Or are you still going to stick with Grace Ashi?
Charlie, Grace Ashi, no. Date, if Ghana is playing and they play that song, like, nobody has come close. Like,
it's flexible too.
Yes. And hey, those days when Ghana scores a goal, by the time you see us, we are on the streets.
I tell you,
in a very loud speaker. Oh my God,
it was so nice.
That song, like, I mean, it tops it. I'm yet to see another, but Nasi, remember, we say it's a bit too much of optimism, but I mean, remember.
You've earlier made a comment like that. Are you not? Do you have hopes in the Black Stars of winning the world?
I do, but I mean, our hope has limits. I mean, because they play with the ground.
A ground fair.
What will happen on the pitch? And you know, football is very dicey. Like, they scored us 2 goals in 3 minutes. So anything can happen. You know, we were on our way to the semi-finals. if Asamajan, let me start from Suarez.
Hey.
If Suarez had not brought that ball out of the pool and it had scored,
maybe we could have just won that progress to semi-finals
without needing a penalty.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
But that was a penalty, and we even lost the penalty.
Great.
Well,
yeah, we're going to talk more about that ahead of the Friday's game. But then, Gracie, do you have a favorite?
Yes.
Maybe the current one.
The current one. Then I'll go with Kweku Flex. Kudus
Day.
But our official song with King Promise. And then Akwabe's song. Like, we can't go to the field and go and be doing churches.
You think
we can't slow Jama, you know. We can't go and be doing churches there. Like, when we get there, you'll be like, it will just be, how are we even dance?
We clap.
Oh, but then I think Hume got a bit of, you know, the high tempo, just a bit of
it. But
then with the team, I think King Promise is the official one.
Yes,
even
that. And I still don't even. I don't like the song.
Like you know, Grace Ashley's song. Like
the message but look at King Promise's song. How are you going to,
like,
you know, vibe with it? And you be doing like this, when you go to the girls' school, that's what they do.
Exactly.
Like, you know, to me, your churches were filled. So I think Grace Ashley's song is still the best.
Yeah. All right. So we've spoken about their performance. We've spoken about the favorite tune at World Cup. Now let's go with favorite goal from Ghana in the World Cup. I will still stick with Sule Muntari's goal 2010 against Uruguay. That was the first goal before they equalized, and then Asamoah was supposed to score until Suarez went there to kick it. It's a long story. I don't want to remind anyone. But that goal from Sule Muntari still remains. If you get the opportunity to watch the clip, the distance where he shot straight into the net, it was beautiful. It was excellent. And I see him in Qatar too, supporting the boys and all that. Yeah, once I saw a picture of him advising Amate, and say Tempest was high, and I'm like, hey, Sule Muntari, then time to give me weekend. Don't try that. Sule with him. Challenge Sule. Like back then, I still watching Stephen Appiah. It
was just it was nice. It was a flex, I tell you.
The pencil afro. It was
I think that energy is coming. It's reviving little by little. Yeah.
Great. So, ladies, do you have any favorite goal? Maybe if in the past ones, the last 3 World Cups, or maybe the current one. Do you have any favorite?
With me, I think Asamoah has done well for the country Ghana. When you watch the matches between Ghana and USA, you could realize most of the goals came from Asamoah, and I think we have to give him that respect.
Yeah. Before you see it, they just hit it.
Man, like that was it. I don't even think about it. You shoot it and that's
and it's like teamwork. They'll connect it.
Exactly.
In our cases now,
that is what we lack sometimes. That is what we lack sometimes. Yeah.
Stella, you got any favorite?
Yeah, I do. I think yes, the recent one, the one from South Korea's game.
Okay.
Yes, the passing. I mean, it was counted. 32 passes to to score a goal, and I just like the momentum that was built. The Koreans were not expecting it
at all.
They didn't expect it. They never expected it.
I think they didn't hear about Ghana before coming to play with us.
It's true.
The build-up to score that goal was beautiful, and I think that everybody took a part in it. Almost every player touched the ball before it went straight, and I like the fact that the current Black Stars are going in for a lot of goals because we were known for one goal project.
Yeah.
But
with Korea, the Banku over Ramyeon.
Oh,
any day. Banku over Ramyeon any day. So with Korea there, I had the confidence we would beat them. Basa.
Okay.
Yeah. Kudus goal was beautiful.
The one at the Jordan assist.
Yeah. And my favorite goal is Ghana versus USA. I think in 2010. Yeah, Asamoah Gyan's goal.
Baby,
it was beautiful, and I think Ghanaians, we talk too much. Asamoah has done a lot for us.
They don't know. See, it breaks my heart when people condemn Asamoah and say, "Oh, he's not. He's been our star player. He was our top goal scorer."
Yeah.
He is one of our top goal scorers.
That's why a lot for the former president says that Ojuan flew because we forget so quickly.
We forget so.
I don't think that we have completely forgotten, because Asamoah is still celebrated as a legend.
But he wanted to go to this World Cup.
Well, I'm sure right now, sitting back, he's glad he did not.
Of course, I see him on Super Sport. I'm like, this is where you're supposed to be.
Yes.
And if you go on the pitch, they will condemn you. They will just ridicule you.
Just look at what we did to Jordan.
I mean, for Jordan, I'm not part of those who think that he should be apologized to, because we are bringing you here to play. Why am I commending you for your work that you're supposed to do?
Nobody. Do you agree that some people feel like the Ayew brothers, there are times where one should play, one should sit on the bench?
Well,
some people think that
from the beginning.
Are you in favor of those who say, oh, maybe it feels like they own the team, so even though on their bad days they still want them to play?
All those are conspiracy theories, and so we are able to establish the truths in them. But I think that Ayew Andre is growing. And sometimes you can see that he lacks the
speed,
when he began football, he was a bit swift,
very young,
and energetic and all that. But right now he's growing. We can. I'm not sure he'll go to another World Cup. But his presence,
I'm sure he can.
Well, for me,
and I think that this she took it out. So you continue.
I feel there are a lot of players sitting like Benchiomo. So we have to allow those people also bring their talents out. So they can just sit for a while. When they don't play a game, nothing will happen.
Well, I think that starting the two brothers, so maybe you think Jordan should be
they should just sit for just one game. No one, nobody should just...
So if I clearly get you,
they should just be benched for
I
the
think
meantime.
In our first game, Andre started with the first half.
Yeah.
So I felt like Obo Kakran, he should have just given his captain's band to someone else. Now there's some
in the game where Ayew scored. Was it in the game where he scored?
Yeah, then he scored. Yeah, he was even substituted
even if he wasn't
on.
in, somebody could have scored in any way.
No. We cannot
say that.
We cannot say that for sure, But then after the time they brought in Jordan.
He caused that.
This game, Sir Jordan and Boa.
So I think that
if one is playing and one doesn't play, then there is nothing wrong with it.
I'm going to take one from Stella. This is venturing so much into how women put their emotions into everything. And we should look at it from a technical point of view. Let's take both players individually, not as the Ayew brothers. So they have their individual roles they play. And when you look at our lineup for the Korean game, we are playing a certain formation.
Yeah.
And we need this person, that person, and remember, this is our first team.
Yeah.
Some of the players have not played before. So the coach cannot put his hopes and know that those days, that if you substitute Sule, you know who you are bringing into the game. If you substitute John Pensto, you know who you are bringing into the game. But this time, we do not have all of those. And Ayew is a striker.
But this,
right? You are right.
You are the striker.
I know it can go on and on. But then I want us to, divert the attention. We're going to talk Black Stars, and then later we're going to talk the African countries who are still competing. It looks like some of them are having a good day in their group games. It looks like Senegal. I must say they have qualified. But then when it comes to Tunisia, Morocco, Cameroon, and then Ghana. It looks like it's a bit dicey. We're going to look at their performances so far. But then let's relive 2010, Ghana versus Uruguay. That 2010, the team, some people have termed as the Great Black Stars team. Led by Coach Milovan. How do you ever pronounce it?
Exactly.
I would love to speak with Milovan.
No, now.
I would love to speak with Milovan. So we were in the quarterfinals. If not for that thing caused by, you know, Suarez, or if you want to blame Asamoah Gyan, we would have sailed to the semi-final stage, and that was still a major record for an African country. Still, we hold that record.
Right.
Suarez is coming to play us on Friday. Yes.
Before we continue, we are in Ghana. Wait, we are in Ghana. If you keep saying Shua, it's Suarez.
Suarez.
Yes.
Who's coming to?
If you say Shua, I mean,
okay. Behave.
Yes.
Behave.
Now you continue.
Suarez come play us on Friday.
Yeah.
Great. It's a do or die affair. Some have termed it as a revenge game because we have to beat them. If you look at Ghana in the World Cup, they've never lost their second group match, and of course we live to expectation with the South Korean game. But when it comes to their third match, it's questionable. Is history going to repeat itself? I just want to give us a breakdown. So Ghana's record in the World Cup on March day 3. Ghana 2, US 1. That was in 2006. Then in 2010, when we are up against Germany, we lost. Germany had a goal, and then we had nothing. And then in 2014, Portugal 2, and Ghana 1. In our first match this year, we were expecting that we revenge, but you know, we were left disappointed. But all in all, they had a good game. So looking at the stats for our third match in the group stages, are you certain? Do you have hope that boys can, you know, beat them? You know, let's put our performance so far.
Looking at the kind of game the boys have played so far, if they, you know, put in more effort or a little bit of effort, I am sure we are going to beat Uruguay. And no, I don't care what other people would say, but people are like, oh, we can't score Uruguay, and Suarez is even doing more of that.
Charlie, can you imagine?
They've played with us, and then they beat us back to back, so they feel like they know how we play our ball, and then they still will be able to beat us, and it's a do or die affair for Uruguay. And I'm like,
they just won on a 4-2 penalty.
You know,
it wasn't like you beat us.
You know, and he was talking with like some arrogance and pride. So like, I'm expecting the boys to do more. I would expect a lot more from Kudus and Atizigi.
But I haven't seen much from Iñaki Williams. He hasn't been...
Inaki? I have a problem with Inaki Williams. I really have a problem with Inaki Williams. But I kind of reason with Otuado for keeping him in the game full time, because Inaki has the kind of energy level...
Speed.
Yes, the Black Stars need. Because when he gets the ball, he doesn't do anything with the ball, honestly. Even you see, I think our game with Portugal, the last hour, he got there.
When he had that, he just missed. What he did. He didn't get the balance.
Exactly.
Held his legs.
But you know that if the VAR had checked, maybe we could. If the VAR had checked, maybe we could have done something. Could have been done about it, because the keeper's hand touched Inaki. If you look at it very well, the keeper's had...
The referee was just not interested in...
Yes, that is why I said earlier, she's going to say that I shouldn't say the referee is a racist, but it's my opinion. He's just doing, like, because Ronaldo is a star, so like...
That was a soft penalty. That penalty he took. See... There are some who say that the referee did not do us good, honestly speaking. All. If he should have used the VAR, some people think that he was a bit... He favored Ronaldo, maybe just because it was Ronaldo. Some people have also argued that we should have petitioned FIFA, because that game, they felt we were cheated.
But, well, you know, before I was like, it's almost to me a rematch. Almost to me, and I feel like... Once it ends, the only thing they can do is to come and apologize, and that's it. And it's not fair. It's not fair.
Ladies, so I want us to turn our attention to the Black Stars, their performance so far, and as well as the 4 other African countries. So Tunisia is in Group D. So in their group, France, they've got 6 points. They've already qualified. Yes, and then Australia 3 points, Denmark 1, and Tunisia just a point. in the World Cup. The upcoming games in Group D, we have Australia versus Denmark and then Tunisia versus France. And when we move to Morocco's group, that's Group F. Croatia have 4 points, Morocco 4 points, Belgium 3 points, Canada, they've got nothing. The upcoming games, we have Canada versus Morocco, Belgium versus Croatia, and then in Group F, no team has qualified yet. Yes, that's where Morocco find themselves.
Interesting.
Some are saying that if Ghana found itself in this group, we would have, emerged top on that group, because I say Group F, I say for
Kakra. But you never know. Even South Korea that we thought was
they gave us a head time. So Cameroon in Group G. So Brazil got 6 points, they've qualified. Yes, they've qualified. Switzerland got 4 points, Cameroon a point, Serbia a point. Upcoming games, we have Cameroon versus Brazil and Serbia versus Switzerland. And in Group H, that's where we find ourselves, the Black Stars. Portugal have got 6 points, they have already qualified. They are on top of our group. And Ghana 3 points, South Korea a point, Uruguay a point. Upcoming games, we have Portugal versus South Korea and then Ghana versus Uruguay on Friday. So far these are their performances, and some will say that Senegal have lived up to expectation, because ahead of the game we were saying that it's good to see African teams progress, and I've seen how on days where the African teams are playing, the match is superb. I saw you rooting for Cameroon. That's bad.
Of course,
that's what you want to see.
I feel like the Cameroonian team have displayed a good amount of technical know-how. They've shown that they can do well, and so why are we not able to? I saw people faulting their coach for benching their best player and then bringing him on later. And you can even agree with that, because at the point where he was brought in, and I just like Abubakar, I just like his composure, the fact that he's an experienced player, and I don't know why in such a crucial game the coach would have to bench him until later, because when he came, he scored the goal.
He was there. Abubakar is very good.
And his composure, I mean, like, he was in front of the keeper. He just raised the ball.
See, sometimes the team, they need morale. This is our star player. When he's on the field, he can garner them. He knows how to do it. That's how some people argue that with Dede Ayew, he's just like that in Ghana's team. You might say, it's okay, there are some bad days, but then with Dede, he knows how to work the boys, and that is what we need.
I really agree with that.
Apart from Ghana, which Black Stars are favorite, do you have any favorite in the African side?
Oh, I feel they are all doing well. All I can tell them is the fact that this kind of anxiety is there.
You need the confidence.
You need the confidence, of course, because I just realized that they are even afraid of the Africans.
They are afraid of us.
So we just need that confidence to meet them up. And I feel that Senegal is doing well, Cameroon is doing well. We should just pick it up. Yes, they just pick it up, and then we can just move forward.
But like she's saying, they are scared of us. So I don't know why we have a very tough skin, and as they are coming, say, well, these people, if we don't take care, they can do this to us, they can do that to us. And I'm very glad that Black Stars didn't allow Ronaldo's presence to take them. Yes, they did their very best, and that was what made me feel like this thing
Yes. So when it comes to our substitution, some people have argued that we have like 5 changes, but Otuado, I say, you are sitting at the end of the to change them. You can see this person is not doing well. And even in our game against Portugal, some of the changes that he did, people don't understand why he made Kudus out and then Ayew out.
Well,
are you impressed with his style of play, so far?
I think that on a scale of 1 to 5, I'll be in the middle, like 2.5, because his style of play has shown some kind of difference in how the typical Ghanaian Black Stars were playing. So it's not bad. And again, to go to say that, let's cut him some slack. He's just beginning, and this is a team that he is building.
Yeah, fresh start.
With the building, there's going to be mistakes. There are going to be things that will happen that
but you have to. But this is the World Cup. We cannot take chances.
We don't have any other.
We don't want excuse.
We don't have any other place.
I get what you are saying, but this is football. We don't take excuses for it. Okay. You just own up, do what you're supposed to.
The time is not really on our side, but then before we wrap up, I just want to also celebrate women who talk sports, administrators, all those who are changing the narrative, because we don't have more of them here. Time was not on our side. I would have just listed some like the Juliet Bewa and the rest and all that. But then before we end up, final words, very quick one, Vicky.
Well, I would like to congratulate the Black Stars once again because I feel they are doing very well. And I realized that any Korean match, no, they were clearing agents. Like, it is too much. It is good to defend, but it shouldn't be that much. And I wish them all the best. They should do the best for Ghana as well. Okay.
Stella, Friday's game.
Friday's game, we are very, very optimistic. I mean, I'm still having pains all over my body from Monday's game, but Friday we go again. Yes, yes, they play with the ground, so plenty talking will not do anything. Yeah, just wish them the best, and they should know that. I'm sure they already know that. Like, we are solidly behind them, and they should just put in their best. Uruguay,
okay, so I think the Black Stars is doing well, so they should go for gold. And that thing that when we score our first 2 goals or first 1 goal, then we relax, then I say you lose focus. We should stop that. Keep your focus on, keep your head up until the game is over. If it's not over, it's not over. It's not over, so they should just make sure they don't lose focus, and then with the same energy they started, they end it. And sometimes
they should forget Suarez. They should forget him because
exactly.
He goes
in the second half, though.
And sometimes when they we have about a minute for the game to end, no Biera, ask Qatar, no Biera, that is how we are going to lose the match if they don't take care. That's how, because Ubeye relax, then before you realize the free So I plead with them that they should take those things into consideration.
Ladies, I must say you really wowed me. It's just not about the love that we have when it comes to sharing our bits, making submission, making recommendations. We are good at what we do, and I must thank you for keeping the love. Having the energy to talk sports. We want to see more of this. We want to see more of this because sometimes when you talk football, I think it's just a thing for men. When I was called to do this, I was like, hey. We scream and we give morale back, but to sit and do this, I must say we did great. And if the boys should take our submissions, the recommendations that we've made, I must say, we can beat the Uruguay side come Friday. So thank you very much for doing the watching. I did this with Victoria Cheba for Stella Jejom Sogli and Grace Ya Ajiman. I got the name right. So continue to watch all our live updates, GhanaWeb Mundial, and when match day Friday too, we come to you with a very special coverage of the game against Ghana and Uruguay. Don't miss it. All the action is going to take place here. It was good, coming your way to talk sports. This is no Moses Encounters or anything. This was a big challenge, but I must say, once you have the love for football, when you're being called anytime, you can deliver. So thank you very much for doing the watching. I am Paula Amabrun. This has been GhanaWeb Mundial. We'll be back.
Thank you very much. Welcome to another edition of our diaries here from Doha in Qatar. We are covering the 2022 FIFA World Cup. The Black Stars failed to win their first game, but that doesn't stop us from enjoying the beautiful country that Qatar is. Today, I'm joined by a few of my friends. They're also in Qatar to enjoy the World Cup, and they've taken time out of their busy schedules to, if you like, indulge in some extracurricular activities. Today, we are at the Sea Line Deserts area, I believe, and we're here to do, what do you call it?
Bike riding.
Bike riding. It's very similar to what you have in Abu Dhabi, but this is in Qatar, and we want to enjoy some time here. Faisal is here. I'll speak to Faisal about his expectations, what is made of the country since he's been here. Faisal, how many days have you been here since?
I've been here for the past 1 week.
1 week, okay. Yes. What do you make of the country?
Yeah, it's great. When I was coming, I didn't expect Qatar to be like this, but so far it's been amazing, and I really like it here.
Okay. Did the Black Stars defeat dampen your spirits?
Never, okay. Because we gave them a good fight.
Yeah.
We all saw what the referee did, and we are praying that in our next match, things will be fine.
Okay. And today you want to do what? You want to ride a bike?
Yes. Okay. It's just to have fun as well, you know,
right.
To see Qatar very well, and this is a great thing to be here. It's a great thing to be here. So
right.
We'll have our
is it going to be an item you're checking off the bucket list?
Yes, it's one of them. Yeah, it's in the middle somewhere.
Okay.
More to go.
So that's Faisal. I mean, he's not disappointed at all. He's of the firm belief that the Black Stars will progress, and the more the Black Stars progress, the more we stay in this country and enjoy the beautiful scenery that it is. And also here is what happened? Abdel.
Yes.
Abdel is also, he's a very happy-go-lucky person since I've met him the last couple of hours. And he seems to have prepared for this. How long did you prepare for this World Cup?
For the past 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, so I remember when the Black Stars qualified against Nigeria. That very night.
You started doing your
when I started planning all the trips, the air ticket, the match tickets, and all those things. Then since then also I've been going online to see what I can do in Qatar, what are the best places to be in Qatar.
Okay.
And so far so good, I've not been disappointed.
You've not been disappointed. Yeah. You seem to appreciate what the country has done in terms of the infrastructure when we're in the vehicle coming. You seem to like this country and what it has achieved.
Yes.
And you wish some of it will be replicated back home. What has really swept you off your feet about this country?
Okay, so one of the things I would like to mention is the transport system, the metro, how it is well organized. When you are going somewhere, it's so easy. That also helps us to reduce the traffic. Unlike what we have in Ghana, when you are going some maybe few meters, you are already in traffic. And apart from that, also, taxi is just amazing. You buy stuff and you just look at the ticket, the receipt, and you're like, there's no taxes. Everything is just.
But I'm sure the Ghana government will say without taxes they cannot develop the country. But we're not here to talk about politics. We're here to have fun and enjoy ourselves. Efo was on our previous edition. He's been our tour guide. He's been in Qatar for the last 6 years, as you heard him say in our previous edition of the show.
He's a king.
You brought us here. Is this one of the go-to places when you come to Qatar?
Yes, of course. This is a sea line beach where you can have the desert, you can have bike riding, camel ride, you can have some skydiving, other activities as well. So
when you say a beach, I mean, people would assume, why would there be a beach in the desert?
Beach in the desert. Just the sea is just like 5 minutes walk away from here.
Okay.
So from here we can go to the beach, swim, do whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Faisal and Abdul, we're going to go on the ride and see how it feels like in the sea line beach bike ride. Hopefully it's going to be an enjoyable one, and hopefully I manage to stay safe. My name is Daniel. We'll keep watching as we bring you sights and sounds from Doha, Qatar.
Okay, please start. Make it not stop plenty. Start, oh.
I don't know.
You done here?
Oh. This is the
What are they?
this is for break.
So this is for
So start going. Make sure you don't go where there is road. So just go and come back. Are you ready? This is break.